We're back with part two of our conversation with Caren West of Caren West PR. This is the second half of a new podcast feature, the Four Questions PR and Marketing Agency Spotlight.
What was your
Yeah.
first? What was your first PR job?
My first PR job was, it's kind of interesting. I was interning at a record label called Autonomous Records, and I was doing radio promotion, so calling into radio stations, and they had a PR person, really small record label back in the day, and she ended up, I was really interested in what she was doing. So I asked her a lot of questions, and she ended up moving to go to New York. It's like a whole entire long story. And she was working with, or was going in as a PR rep for Tara Murphy for, I think, a festival she was doing in North Carolina. And I could be wrong. I should have fact checked the Tara, but memory. And I took her place because she was moving, and I was like, sure, whatever. And that was really probably my first PR specific thing that I had ever done. And it was more of just like running around. I was in charge of, I believe, getting musicians over to the social media tent. It was like right when it was kind of like to do these like chats, like chat rooms or whatever. And people,
Sure.
Nobody cared, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I have got to figure out how to get them from like the main stage over to here and like whatever. And, it was really great. So that was really my first job that I remember in PR. And I thought it was really interesting. And, I think something that is a testament to Atlanta's PR community is that, one, there are incredibly talented PR people in Atlanta. And it really doesn't matter. Back in the day, I was like, oh, you're not in New York. Oh, you're not in LA. It doesn't matter,
Right.
In my opinion. And our PR market and all the markets that we work in, I think it's the best. And, you have all of these incredible women. You're included. You're an honorary member from, Melissa Libby to Tara Murphy to Meg Reggie to Marsha and all of these incredible people, and Kristen Cower of Brave PR. And we all really, and hopefully I mentioned Liz Lapidus. I worked with her. I love her.
Yep.
We work together in, help build each other up and share resources. And much like you, sometimes it's like therapy. Like, are you guys dealing with this? Or
Right.
do you know what's going on with the station? Or do you have a contact in for this person? And I really think that Atlanta's PR community is one of a kind. I think it's top notch. And I feel very lucky to be a part of it. And I've had a lot of very, very incredible women support me. Even Michelle Ray Kaplinger, who used to be,
Yep.
PR person back in the day, and now she's like
Film Academy,
amazing, the Recording Academy,
music,
universe.
Music Academy, right?
The Recording
No,
Academy.
Grammy Academy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so Atlanta, I think our community, when it comes to PR and marketing and in media, I think that we really rise because we support each other and we know how special the people are who are here. I think our market is awesome. I love it.
What would you tell a young person who is interested in getting into PR? What would you say in terms of, here's the kind of job you should look for, or here's the kind of thing you should do?
Go into finance. No, I'm just kidding.
I was a finance major in college, and I went into PR. So go figure, right?
I think for somebody who's interested in PR, the number one thing that I would say is talk to other people. There are people like me, there's people like you who are willing to email back and forth or answer questions. I really feel like internships are critical. That's where you're going to learn if you like it, if you don't, if you do love PR, what type of PR you want to, you may want to pursue, what the realities of PR really involve. Do you have the chops to do it? And once again, a lot of people think of this fantasy life or what they may see, like looking at an Instagram. Oh, that's cool. You're in front of a step of repeat. Or, oh, that's great. You got to meet Killer Mike or whatever it may be. When they get into the office and it is hard work. It is very stressful. You are on the clock, especially in lifestyle. all the time. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Of course you have your boundaries and you do have balance, but it's a responsibility. And I just think that talking to people and finding out if it's right for you and going in and doing internships is so, so very important. And also thinking about what kind of environment do you like to be in? And I think a lot of kids today, and I don't even want to call them kids, young men and women, really kind of got gypped as far as coming, they got hit with, COVID and, Zoom and all of these things. And what we're seeing is that a lot of people don't have the skills to deal with people in person. Right. And as a PR person, you can't hide behind a computer all the time. You have to be out, you're public facing, it's PR, it's public relations. It's
public, right? That they're kind of dealing with the public. Right.
And so that's really important to consider too. And also, once again, like I said, like our culture at Caren West PR is really specific. You're either going to love us or you're going to hate us, or you're going to be like, that's pretty cool, but it's not for me. Or I have friends who really excel in, a corporate environment, like in Edelman, it's like, that is their jam and they kill it. So I think those things are important for sure.
Right. What is the, kind of running your own agency? What do you find is the hardest thing? And that's like, trust me, I know there's like a lot of hard things, but
how long do you have?
Okay, you get 30. You get to pick one. What's one hard thing?
I think the hardest thing for me, I don't know. I think sometimes it's the business side, right? You're really good. I know what my strengths are, but I also know, I don't really like the business aspect of it. So I'm really fortunate because I have Chad, who's very, very strong in that. And so we balance each other out. But I think that, I always think of like, you've got mail, right? When I take things very personally because my name's attached to it, and business is business and everything else. But I really care, and I care a lot. And I want to make, I want our clients to succeed. And I personally put a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, as I know you do too. And I think that can be very taxing sometimes, where you're not always seeing things from that business perspective that's cut and dry, and it can come at a cost to you personally as somebody who runs a business. So you're right. I mean, to me, oftentimes I want every client to be happy with the work. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that means overworking the clients beyond what they're paying me, right? But almost all you're like toothpicks in your eyes. You're like working late at night.
Right. Yeah, I'm sitting watching. Last night I was sitting at 11 o'clock last night. I'm writing a contract for a new client. Right? Okay.
I know we've been going back and forth before, and it's Sunday at like 9 o'clock. We're like, oh my god, what are we doing?
Well, and then we work with the business school and the law school at Emory, and we get calls all the time from reporters going, hey, I know it's 8:30 on a Sunday morning, but I need someone to talk about bank failures by 2 o'clock today. It's like, it's 8:30 in the morning on Sunday. I was like, okay, I'll get you somebody.
Right. You're like, all right, game on.
I'm texting, I get the nightside TV crews that call me at 5:30 going, hey, I need somebody by 7:30 for the 10 o'clock tonight. Okay, you couldn't have called like 2 hours ago, something like that.
Like, you didn't know? Come on. No,
I know. I give him a hard time. It's like, well, it's funny because John Sherrick over at Channel 11, love John. John will call me at like 5:30. He goes, hey, Mitch, it's John. Sorry to call you so late. It's like, it's okay, John. I know he's the night side guy. He comes in starts work at 4. So it's like, I said, John, this is what you do. This is what I do. You work the night shift. When you call at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I'm going to find you somebody.
Well, and that's such an important lesson too, is that, I think that something that's important. I've been on the other side as far as a media person, and, as far as being an editor, and I was on the radio, and thanks to Leslie Fram, who's like one of the most amazing people on the planet. So I really have a respect for journalists. I really have a respect for producers. I have a respect for editors. I have a respect for people behind the scenes. And I think that is something that is overlooked right now. I feel like if you have a relationship between PR people and a reporter or producers, stations, whatever, it's really valuable. And that's what we're in the market to do, is build relationships, right? Yeah. Not only for our company, but also on behalf of our clients, which can also be a tricky thing because sometimes a client can ruin a relationship, or you're afraid they're going to ruin a relationship, something that you've worked on or cultivated for 20 years, you know, and like,
all right, so we're going to do lightning round now.
All right,
so short. These don't have
do
to
I
be
need
long.
to stretch? Do I need to do push-ups?
You got to do this. There you go.
Okay.
Dance off. There we go. All right, so you don't need. So the hardest question, and this is always the hardest question I ever ask folks, is what's the coolest thing about you? And I gave you a warning I was going to ask you this question.
I know. And I did exactly what I tell my clients not to do. I was like, I had such a frantic day. I was not prepared. Okay. The coolest thing about me, I think, one, I'm a total goofball. Everybody who knows me, I embarrass myself 300 times a day. I am not cool. I think that I'm strategic because I surround myself by really cool people and I have an eye for talent. And so it's kind of, maybe it's like, you know, trying to hang out with the popular kids, so I'm popular too. But no, I really try to surround myself with awesome people, and I think that makes me cool if I have to.
All right. Okay. Favorite local restaurant?
I have to plead the fifth on that one.
Okay. All right. Client confidentiality, conflict kind of thing.
Yeah. And there's too many. There's so many great restaurants. And honestly, it's like what I'm in the mood for. And there's 3 new restaurants that I love. And that would be, I could go on and on. I'm happy to give you a list.
All right. So let's do favorite guilty pleasure.
Okay. I'm going to be honest about this. I love watching TV. And I'm not one of those people are like, oh, I don't have a TV in my house or whatever. I respect that. I love watching TV. I love true crime. I can't say it. True crime. Like how excited I am.
Yeah.
True crime, like Dateline all day, all night. Like Keith, your hair, your voice. If I ever met him,
Keith, it's the voice, right?
Right.
See, right. I'll watch Dateline if it's recorded. That way I can fast forward.
Oh yeah.
Because they always do they do the commercial and they come back and recap.
Right.
Okay, we just said that. You just saw it. I'm just going to get through the new stuff. All right. Favorite local getaway?
I would have to say Blue Ridge.
Oh, good choice. Okay.
I really love Blue Ridge, and I haven't been in a while, and I think it's fantastic. And it's so close. It's easy to get to, and it's just has a lot to offer.
All right. Favorite non-work hobby?
I love to read.
Okay. Do you have a genre?
You know what? I really am all over the place. I just read Matthew Perry's memoir, which I thought was outstanding and really brave and super honest. But I also, don't laugh. Maybe this is a guilty pleasure too. I love young adult. I love the Hunger Games. I read that. I read the first one. I was at the beach and I was like, what? And then I went and bought the second one while I was at the beach, and then read that while I was at the beach. And then while I was at the beach, ordered the third one so it'd be at home. And I was like, I love it. I mean, post-apocalyptic, what is even going on?
Right. Yeah, I lean towards fantasy, sci-fi kind of stuff. Yeah. Although I do like historical fiction. Those are fun. And then I got a Kindle, so I bought the collected works of Agatha Christie, which is kind of fun. Just kind of classic. They're old, so it sometimes takes a little patience to read through them through the style. But it's just kind of fun getting back to the.
I've always loved to read. I think it's so great. And I love the escape, but I am still so tried and true. I love the smell of books. I still love print. I love magazines. I love getting Vogue. I'm excited. And same thing with books.
Yeah.
I find it very exciting.
And I have a shelf of journalist written books some of which I've read and some of which I haven't read yet.
Right.
Every time I see somebody saying, hey, I'm having a book signing party for my new book. Come out. It's like, okay, fine. I'll go buy the book. And I'm like, okay, I got to read it.
Yeah. So, yeah. I have a stack as well, but that's a good problem to have, I think.
Okay. All right. So last question.
Yeah.
Is there a client or project that really stands out that you think you just have memories of? You think, wow, that was such a such a vivid memory of doing this project or a moment at a
Sure.
client with a client?
I had to pick one, huh? I'm gonna go with Skirt magazine. Do you remember Skirt?
Yeah,
Way
yeah,
back in the day, it was like
right.
kind of large format with like Paper
Yeah,
City and all of those were out.
yeah.
So Stephanie Davis Smith, who is one of my favorite people ever. She's an incredible writer. She has incredible writing, two-sided, her blog, Two-Sided Southern. Read it. She's funny, brilliant, amazing, incredible editor. So she was the editor of Skirt magazine. And when she moved to Atlanta, I think I was one of the first people, PR people she went out with, and like instant friendship. And so for Skirt's anniversary party, she hired our firm to do these parties. And we, like, all of us together would come up with the most amazing party concepts. And for example, one we did was it was kind of like a 1960s flight theme. So it was when people had budgets, which was fun. So like the tickets or the invitations were actually tickets. We did it at Schwa, which was a concentrics restaurant. So people came in and they were greeted by stewardesses, like with champagne. We ripped the ticket. They could win a trip. We had like, everything was so well thought out. We did one on a rooftop and it was kind of this like alien futuristic theme. And we entered it to win or entered it for a Folio Award. And we were like, let's just do it. Like, it was cool. And so they kept calling us and they're like, hey, are you going to come to the awards? And we're like, we're not going to come. They're like, well, you've been nominated. We're like, whatever. But the other people who were nominated, it was like O Magazine and somebody else. And I'm like, there is no way we're beating out O Magazine. Like, let's be honest here, right? Like, it just, like, there's no way. They kept calling and calling. And we had another event. I'm like, we just can't make it work. Well, we won. And I was like, yes. Yes, it was really fun. But honestly, so that was one of my favorites, and mostly because I love working with Stephanie and I love that creativity, and everything came together and we have all of these crazy stories and we made the impossible happen, every single one, and just kind of did everything we could to make it happen, and we still laugh about it today.
I wonder if I still have a copy of that somewhere, that magazine.
It was good.
I might have cleaned it out at some point.
Yeah.
20 years ago. That's been a while, right?
It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you ever went. Did you ever go to BaconFest?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So we BaconFest, and then I will wrap this up. But BaconFest is one of my favorites too. During the recession, Chad and I made a decision to. A lot of people were struggling, including us, to approach businesses and people and organizations that we loved, like Dad's Garage. And we're in the Old Fourth Ward, and Dad's Garage was right there at the time, and before they moved to another location in the Old Fourth Ward. And they were actually in Inman Park. So we were like, hey, we would love to do PR for you for BaconFest. And, the only thing you have to do is just throw our logo up on some stuff, and we're good. And we, developed great friendship with Dad's Garage, and like blew people's minds that year. People were like, how do we not know about BaconFest? Like, are you kidding me? This exists. I mean, and, kept doing it years. Like Kevin Bacon showed up one year, like Kevin Bacon at BaconFest, like one of my favorite.
That's the ultimate, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I could have quit like right then. I'm like, I'm done. Stick a fork in me.
That's always fun. I mean, we started doing work a couple years ago from MomoCon. And I had never heard of it. I mean, this was like their 10th or 12th year at that point, and I didn't know what they were. No one knew who they were. I couldn't find a single journalist in town. Well, I did find one who knew what they were, and I went. I was like, oh, God, this is incredible. It's like thousands of people doing cosplay and gaming, and I was like, where have you guys been? They go, I don't know. We just kind of, did it. Like, really? But to me, it's fun to take a client that has been under the radar or has just been kind of around and kind of not getting a whole lot of awareness, and just take them to a level like that. So
it's exciting, and it's really awesome to be a part of. I agree. Those are the perks of the jobs, for sure.
All right, Caren, I'm going to let you go. This has been fantastic. I think we could probably do this for another hour, but
we could. And
I know
we're
we could
together in person.
Yes, we are.
It's going to happen.
I know it. I know. Well, thank you, Caren West PR, our inaugural first guest for the Four Questions PR and Marketing Spotlight. Thank you, Caren, so much. And
thank you so much.
have an awesome day.
You too. Thanks.